What's it? Huh? Come on up there. Yeah. Yeah. Watch this. Look at my beats pill. Okay. I'm reading, hey everybody, this is Prophet Raw and I would be. I'm not feeling this broadcast right here. And it's no conversation about no Sean Spencer and all that kind of stuff. That's just not my thing, you know. Some things I don't mind talking about, but not this. It's just it's just not my. That's just not my cup of tea. I wanted to really hear what she had to say about the SBCs, the historically black colleges. Hey, CG, what's going on, man? Shalom. Shalom. But yeah, you know, so I'm just here tonight. You know, I'm not really feeling this. Look in the back room, baby. Oh, okay. I thought it was upstairs. But yeah. Eve. That's all right. Get me pour that water out, put some ice in it, and put some soy milk in there, or whatever kind of milk we got in there. Good to see you as well, CG McGee. I mean CG. But The bowl you just had.
Oh, that was something Mom told me to put.
Oh, okay. Well, give me a cup or something. Put a few cubes of ice in there for me. Oh, yeah. I've been looking at. I've been really looking at a lot of data. I've been looking at life this week. This weekend, I went out and I did some witnessing, and I'm really looking forward to being able to get a camera. My daughter got a camera, but I don't know how that thing works. It's some little fancy smashy camera, and I don't know how to use it yet. But real nice camera. But I want to start recording me going out and uploading those things up to YouTube. I've been trying to do that for a couple years and have not successfully done it. But boy, that hit the spot. But anyway, mm, uh, but anyway, I had a topic that I wanted to talk about, and I guess I want her to stop talking about this Sean Spencer to hear what she has to say about these SBCs. But it looks like she's probably going to be talking about him for a while. Yeah. Let me see here. I did a video today, and I was talking about Black Wall Street. And I think there are many, many spiritual signs that the Most High is sending us about Wall Street. And I can tell because whenever you have a bunch, it's not just about having a bunch of so-called black people doing something, but it's when you have a bunch of Israelites doing something that are not born again. Whenever you get a whole bunch of Israelites together and they're not born again, they don't know who they are, they don't know who their God is, but they're going to try to lay down a groundwork for a political action, economic empowerment, spiritual uplifting. It's a failure. It's a failure. You don't know who you are. So how so it's just something that's going to be fraught with all kinds of dangers. And I don't care if the individuals are conservative or liberal, so-called Israelites. It don't matter. We've tried both sides of the aisle. Conservatism among Israelites and liberalism among Israelites. And these are two poisons that you want to stay away from. These are two poisonous ideologies that you want to really stay away from. And Yvette Carnell, she falls in the category of the liberal. Uh, and another thing that I see that it looks like is becoming popular. You tell me what you think. It looks like whenever now, it's like there's a proliferation, a steady increase of Israelites receiving lesbianism and homosexuality. Because when I look at Miss Yvette Carnell, I'm very concerned about the look that she has. It's a real suspicious little butchy type of look, you know. And I'm also concerned about Black Lives Matter because that's just straight up lesbianism and homosexuality. And so it looks like they just want to cast us. And when I say they, I'm talking about the financiers of these groups. They want to cast us as, you know, some sexual ne'er-do-wells. And I don't appreciate that. Now, I know these people who are, these people that are front men for these financiers of these groups. They said it's their lifestyle. Yeah, it may be your lifestyle, but there is a overarching profile that these white financiers want to portray us as. And you just play right in the hands of that. You see? So that's really a concern of mine, you know, and because, you know, because, you know, we are so desperate for justice, and we are so far at the bottom economically and spiritually. Guess what? We don't care who comes to a rescue. It could be a lesbian. It could be a person in bestiality. It could be a child rapist. It could be a child trafficker. We don't care. That because we are at the end of our carnal rope, we're willing to grab hold to anything. We're willing to ally ourselves with anything except for the Most High. We're willing to ally ourselves with anything. I don't care. It could be a swingers club. If they could promise us a job, ally ourselves with them. You see, we'll do it. And I'm really serious. I really think that we are so desperate that we will do anything. So I think we are on the perch as a people. We're going to see some really, really gross things happening among our people because we are not looking to the Most High as our strength and our song. We're looking to our enemies to save us, which it's just counterproductive. Your enemy has never been there to save you. That's not even what he's supposed to do. Your enemy is there to kill you. That's it. In one way or another, spiritually, economically, psychologically, whatever. That's what you're there for. You know. But I was checking out some information earlier today, and it was talking about how much land that so-called I'll say Israelites own, accumulated, I would say, right at 1866 to 1920. And they said that we had accumulated over 2 million acres of land. But from 1920 to 1950, we lost all of it. We lost all of it. Exactly. Exactly. So we are allying ourselves with people that don't worship the Most High. And I think that was one of the downfalls of Wall Street. And I want to tell you something. I can't prove this, But I believe that Black Wall Street and Rosewood and places like that, I believe that was nothing but a social experiment. And I want to tell you why. After Black Wall Black Wall Street, that's what they call it. Wall Street was bombed and burned to the ground. None of the insurance companies made any payments to our people. Now, I thought about that and I said to myself, I said, wow, how could that happen? Duh, because the insurance companies were owned by who? Your enemies. Why didn't the bank reimburse people for the money that they had in their savings and checkings account? Why? Because that was the whole part of the strategy. You bomb the whole town down, tear down the infrastructure, and you seize all the bank accounts. And you don't do any payouts for the insurance companies, from the insurance companies. So can you imagine the boon of wealth? And see, these are strategic mistakes that we make. And I'm going to tell you this. You said, well, what do you do with your money then? What would you suggest that we do with our money? Well, for one thing, whatever wealth we have, we should not liquidate it into cash. No, we would be better off keeping it in the form of some type of commodity: wheat, grain, livestock, rubber, something like that. But not all of it in cash, because the Jedi mind trick has been has been played on us for so long, and now we have a financial. I will say this: we have a financial Stockholm syndrome, and I'm going to explain to you what that is. A financial Stockholm syndrome is the idea that the only person in the world that you can trust your liquid capital to, enemy's bank, is a problem. See, when you go to work and you do all this work and you put in all this work, and then all that work is in the form of cash on a payday, and then you take that money and put it in a bank. That's a problem. That the bank owns the time of your life that you utilize to build cash. So I don't think all your time or money, because you know what they say, time is money and money is time. All your money and time shouldn't be in a bank account or a savings account. It shouldn't be there. It shouldn't. It shouldn't be. We're going to have to learn how to diversify our lives. And cash is a symbol of the time that you spend in your life to create wealth. And so when you take that cash, which is a representation of units of time that are in the form of cash, you're basically telling white people, you own me. You own me. Because all the money that I have, the only person I trust with it is you. My enemy? My enemy is the only. Why do we believe this stuff? Understand why when I was a little boy, I used to hear stories of people always saying, yeah, my money is under my bed. But let me tell you this, that's not even good enough. Having money under your bed, stacks of cash, Hey, Disinfor, how you doing? Shalom. Having stacks of cash stuffed in a mattress somewhere is I wouldn't say some, all my money in that form, even if it was up under my bed. You know, I mean, we should have wealth in other forms. We should have wealth dispersed among our family members. We should have wealth, and the wealth should be the wealth or the money should be in the form of educating a member of the family with either with a degree or with a trade, a vocation of some sort. You know, I don't believe that your money should be always be in the form of cash. I think that's a problem. If your enemy wants to attack you, all he has to do is seize your bank account. You know how easy that's going to be? You know how easy that's going to be for your enemy to seize your bank account? That's very easy. They own the bank. So it's easy for them to seize your bank account. So that's another thing I never could understand. Okay, let me read some of these comments. They're stacking up here. That's how, oh, yeah, exactly. Everybody trying to get us to, exactly, to be freaks. Exactly. Thank you, because they never will. It was a evil economic experiment. Yeah, I believe Black Wall Street was just that. I believe it was just an experiment. I think it was a mass scale economic and social experiment. That's what Black Wall Street is. Because I'm trying to do some research. I'm trying to do some research because I have heard some conflicting reports about Black Wall Street. One report I heard, somebody said that there was no bank in Tulsa, Oklahoma. But then I heard that there was a bank, but you had to go in the white community to deposit. All the Black people in Tulsa had to deposit their money in the white bank. And so I thought about this because I don't know which side it is. I've been doing some research and I'm not turning up anything. Because I'm not looking in the proper places. But even if there was a bank in Tulsa, Oklahoma, guess what? It probably was a branch bank or an affiliate bank of a white bank. There is a strategic vulnerable point. There's a very vulnerable point with having a financial institution that's basically controlled by your enemy when you have 10,000 people that's in a city and is very prosperous, but their city is not as prosperous. There's a huge problem with that. Okay, distribution is the key, but among who? So let's say that Tulsa, Oklahoma did have a bank. What kind of bank was it? Was it connected to a Federal Reserve Bank? Well, if it was a Federal Reserve Bank, guess what? Or a branch of a Federal Reserve Bank, it really wasn't a black bank. And I think that's one of the problems with the idea of having a black bank. I think one of the problems with having a black bank is that the people whose money is in the bank, guess what? They don't produce nothing. And when I say produce anything, they don't own anything vertically from top to bottom, from raw material to distribution to they don't own nothing. Brick and mortar stores, I mean, it's really hard to have a financial system when the people who are making deposit in the bank really don't produce anything. I think that's one of the vulnerabilities of just being a consumer nation or a consumer people. All you do is consume. You never have anything that you can barter or leverage to make a secure position. Another thing I'm going to add to this, to hold a secure position. Another thing I'm going to add is this. Let me think about this. I had something real good I wanted to say, but I can't remember it. It totally slipped my mind right now. Okay, that's right. Yeah, and can we trust our people at this time to be good stewards of the bank? Oh no, that's another issue. This InfoWar, very good point. See, our people are so low at the bottom and are so not used to having anything. Guess what? If we have a bank, guess what? It's going to be a lot of corruption because we have this anticipation that it's going to fail anyway. And because we have that, that's going to motivate people to spur corruption. You know? So that's why I'm more in favor of like bartering. That's why I'm more in favor of bartering. You have tomatoes, I grow apples, we trade tomatoes and apples. You're a plumber, I grow apples, you do my plumbing, and I give you applesauce, apple butter, apple pie, apple shea butter. You know, and guess what? That will be that it will be less corruption there. But when you have a stockpile, of cash and you have one person in charge of that cash, I mean, that's how we got the Federal Reserve banks going and fractional reserve lending going and all that kind of stuff, you know? It's basically banking is nothing but a Ponzi scheme. That's what banking is. Banking is a Ponzi scheme. The bank only has $100 in the bank, but it makes $900 in loans, and then they charge interest. That's a Ponzi scheme right there. You're making loans for stuff and you don't even have the capital to back it up. You're robbing somebody else, using somebody else's money to make loans, charging interest, patting your pocket, and then trying to hurry up and get the money back in their account by the time that they need it. That's a Ponzi scheme. So I'm not for that kind of stuff. I'm not for that. Think tanks that study us 24 hours a day, and they boule is watching the so-called black community to spy on us. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You're going to always have that. You're going to always have that. I mean, they shouldn't have to spy on us too much because we've been making the same stupid mistake for centuries. So I don't know what, you know, look at the black people with money, but don't do nothing with it. Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you this: they're not supposed to do anything with it. You know why? Because they look at themselves as African American and black people. Black people, African Americans, they're not supposed to do anything with the money. What they're supposed to do with the money is keep undergirded the system of white supremacy. That's what they're supposed to do with the money. And that's what they do. That's what they do. So that, while on one hand they don't do what we would like for them to do, but they do what they've been trained to do with the money. They got it all sitting up in the bank, in mutual funds, in stocks and bonds, everything that's owned by the enemy. Indemnities and all this kind of stuff. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a penalty for them doing anything other with the money, anything else with the money other than what they're due. I wouldn't be surprised. Or maybe the people who have Stockholm syndrome so bad, they don't even need to be threatened with anything. I would consider all of those options. I would consider all of those options. Well, let me see let's see if she's still talking about Spencer. Okay, this is interesting.
In terms of African Americans, I agree. And I think they deserve, like, you know, the Democratic Social. They deserve allies. I agree. But what we have is people.
This is a good point. Good point. Yeah, I agree. I think so-called black celebrity had a lot to do with getting elected. So everybody's screaming that he's racist now, but nobody was screaming racist in the 80s and 90s. You see, Puff Daddy smiling with him, Serena Williams dancing with him. You know, so and then he had the Apprentice show, and he had all those black people on there. So I think black so-called black celebrity, they had who are really Israelites, they had a whole lot to do with electing Trump. And nobody would call these people coons. But our people are so enamored by celebrity. We're so enamored by celebrity that we will sell our soul. If we see Michael Jordan shaking hands with Donald Trump, we will sell our souls. We'll give our firstborn just, oh, Michael Jordan, oh, Donald Trump must be all right then, man. Yeah, but Donald Trump, don't vote for no Hillary. You know, we're like little children. We don't think nothing through. For the most part, not all of us, but we don't think nothing through, man. That's how we got Obama for 8 years. And let me say this, y'all. Don't think that these photo ops that Donald Trump had, I mean, that are so-called black celebrities, Donald Trump, don't think those photo ops, these people, these celebrities are owned by people. They're owned by people. They can't just do whatever they want to do. So somebody will call them up and say, yeah, I want you to do a photo op with Donald Trump. Click. Well, Puff Daddy gonna be on a plane in New York, and he gonna be hugged up with Donald Trump, just like Kanye West was, looking crazy. You see? So, and I want to tell you, the reason why I think this is because every time that we have done something or had to do something, we always have to do stuff under duress, under threats. We always do stuff under threats. And our people don't get that. And I'm not trying to give them a pass, because the results are the same, whether they're doing it on purpose or not. Whether they're doing it under duress or not, the results is the same. We are destroyed people.
Bad people. A lot of people are horrible people.
Exactly. Exactly. Get out, Negroes. Ah, Look at this, y'all. Who cares if somebody's chopping your head off? I don't want to hear nobody say, well, they chopping your head off not to be mean. I don't care if that's inconsequential. Whether they chopping my head off and they happy or sad, it don't matter. They're chopping my head off. That's what we should focus on. And see, this is why I don't like the liberal type of talkers. You know, oh, well, he didn't do it to be mean. You know. That means it's not equality. Hey, baby, how you doing?
Equal to my contribution. If I have people,
that's called slavery. That's called slavery, Vet.
that's incarceration and then listen.
See, these are the type of talking points that I don't really appreciate. I don't like this type of thinking. The idea I'm talking about, it's really disturbing to me that you have a Israelite saying we want equality, and you want it from your enemies. Your enemies can't give you equality. That's why they're called enemies. See, this is why we keep, you know, but all of this is part and parcel of not seeking the Most High. Because if you were seeking the Most High, you would know not to go to your enemies for equality. Our enemies can't even pay us back. They can't pay us back. The price is way too high. If they gave us the planet 1,000 times with everything on it, gave us 1,000 Earths, 1,000,000 Earths, it wouldn't be enough to pay us back for what they've done to us. We are the Most High's chosen people. I don't want to hear nothing about payback. Now, if they gave us some token gestures, that's a whole nother thing. But I don't want to hear nobody talking about payback. They can't pay us back. The only way that they could pay us back is if they was the Most High. The only way they could pay us back for all the suffering and pain and anguish and loss of life is if they were the Most High. And they are not the Most High. So it's no way they could pay us payback. I don't like that phrase payback. Okay, make a token gesture. Okay, I will give you that. We could parse words with that, but don't tell me nothing about all these people that abused us in America, in the Americas, paying us back. No, 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 no. That's why I don't like the word reparation. I don't like it. They can't. Your enemy can never repair you. Never. That's not even your enemy's job. This is what I don't like about this egalitarian type of mindset. It's a dangerous mindset. Exactly. Now that part right there, I could rock with that. I could rock with that. See, one of the things that I think our people don't understand is the abolitionist movement. Okay, the abolitionist movement. You had a lot of you had a few. You had Caucasian people. The Underground Railroad would not have been possible if it were not for Caucasian abolitionists. However, Caucasian abolitionists, while they were against slavery, they never believed that we should be equal to them. See, that's where we get all, this is where we get the sucker punch. So let's unpack that. You have abolitionists who don't believe you should be a slave, but they never believe that you should be equal to them and have equal rights and right to life as them. No abolitionists believe that you should be on par with their children. No abolitionists believe that. I don't care even if you had abolitionists who got killed as part of the Underground Railroad. They died believing that you were inferior and should stay as such. But we don't hear that. All we hear is, oh, they're going to help us get free. You really don't have, it's really a quasi freedom. It's not a real freedom. And it's certainly not a real freedom when the Most High said that we're supposed to be above them. So I'm not even for being equal with them. I'm not. No. It was never a time that we supposed to be trying to be equal to them. Either we're going to be above them or below them, period. But not equal. Not equal. Not equal. Not equal. So I'm not feeling this equal and equality and this egalitarian stuff. No, I'm not for that. I'm not for that. Now, you want to give token gestures of kindness? That's fine, but we're not going to call it reparation. It's just a token.
Oh, yeah, I know about that. I think it's important to know that.
Yeah, there's no way to hold Caucasian people accountable. You know why? Because the power of the Most High is not with y'all. There's no way to hold white people accountable because we have no power of the Most High to subjugate these people, to destroy these people at will, at the slightest infraction. So yeah, there's no way to hold them accountable. These are ruthless, cold-hearted, evil, wicked people. And the only way that you're going to keep these people accountable is if you have the death penalty for them. That's the only way. That's the only way. We don't want to get into taking people to court and all this kind of stuff. No, it's going to have to be swift, painful, and severe public of these people. As a matter of fact, before they even, it's just going to have to be a mass killing of these people. Mass. And that's just to get the other one's attention. That's just to get, but we don't have that kind of power right now. The Most High hasn't granted us that power because we don't deserve it. Right now, we still deserve only to be beneath these people because we don't want to worship the Most High. And as long as we don't want to worship the one that's the highest, the Most High said he's going to make us the lowest. And that's exactly what we are. Now it's really interesting that he's saying all this because he married a white woman. His wife is white. Just to let you know, give you some context here.
Oh, no power. People change and people switch up. We're just like,
You know, you know, boy, we really are looking for our enemies. We really now for all I know, be an atheist, but in another way, she's just as bad as Christians. Because she seemed to have this idea that praying to white people for a solution to our problem is going to be is something attainable. I don't understand. That's just like so-called uh, black people in the Christian church praying to white Jesus to save them from slavery. And she's praying to these politicians, white politicians, Caucasian politicians are nothing but another form of white Jesus. It's just another religion. That's all it is. It's called politics. See, the reason why she take a leftist over a liberal because she don't consider the Most High as an option. He's not even an option. She think her only options is her enemies. And this is the reason why we're still at the bottom. This is why we don't have what the Bible calls in Ezekiel chapter 11, verse 16. The Most High is not even a little sanctuary for most of us while we're in our captivity. Because why? We're looking to our enemies to come save us. If that's not Stockholm Syndrome, I don't know what is. Now it's really interesting. It's really interesting how she is being a big whistleblower tonight. You know, you could see broadcasts where she said that she drank the Obama Kool-Aid. She's actually said that, but now she's, you know, giving the clarion call now. Now, I look at this, Yvette Carnell is far more intelligent than I am. But guess what? I didn't vote for Obama one time. I didn't vote for him one single time. I saw the okey doke coming way before he was even elected the first time. Why was I able to see that? I wasn't even an Israelite, by the way. I didn't even know I was an Israelite. I kind of had an idea, but not like I know it now. This lady is way more intelligent than I am, way more knowledgeable and well-read than I am. See this coming. Why didn't she see during the first term of before the first term? Nobody knew who Barack Obama was. Nobody knew who Barack Obama was. They just knew he was black. That's it. And she said she drank the Obama Kool-Aid. Antonio Moore, he drank the Obama Kool-Aid. So all these people and analysts and talking heads, him Obama, these are and some of these people drank the Kool-Aid twice. So that lets you know that a lot of this stuff is I'm not saying that they don't have any valuable information, but they don't know what to do with it. Because look, they voted for Obama twice. Twice. Many of these people voted for Obama twice. Professors of economics and political scientists that are so-called African American, they voted for him twice, only to slam him now. Why could I don't even know all the stuff these people know. I'm just a carpenter that lives in the hood, but I knew to stay away from Obama. So my thing is, you can have a whole lot of education, you can have a whole lot of learning, a whole lot of book smart, but guess what? And still not even know what to do with the information. You don't even know what to do with it. It don't give you the power to discern, that's for sure. All these people, Umar Johnson, all these people voted for her Obama. All of them. Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson. All these people voted for Obama twice. And now some of them who cape for him, they say, well, the reason why he couldn't do anything because the Republicans stood in his way. Well, how did he pass DACA? How did he do something for immigrants and Mexicans, but nothing for us? Because he ain't with us. Michelle Obama is just a prop. She's just a stage prop. That's all. I'm not saying he don't love her or like her. I don't know. It don't even matter. Played. We were played, y'all. That's what it was. We were played. Yeah, me either. Me either.
What is the juxtaposition? Who do you think like the average man who's not
Mm-hmm. Oh, right. Yeah, when I look at Obama and the policies of the Obama administration, I already know he's just a little puppet. It that way. They planned that. They planned it that way for home ownership for our people to be at a 50-year low during the Obama administration. That was orchestrated, y'all. I'm not trying to let Obama off the hook. He probably hate us. But I'm just saying, he not no puppet master. They would have put a bullet in his head too. See, my thing, I enjoy listening to Antonio Young. He know what to do with the information that's in his head. He don't know how to interpret, or he don't know how to. The guy is brilliant. Guy is brilliant, but he don't know what to do with this information. And it seems like the only things that he knows to do with all this data and stuff is the same stuff that our foreparents did with it. And we see where that got us. So, the passion is good. And he talked about starting a movement. I don't want to start no movement with no lesbians and homosexuals and pedophiles and rapists and adulterers and whoremongers. I don't want to. No, I don't want no. We already got that in the Christian church. We don't need another movement like that. And with Black Lives Matter, we don't need that. We don't need that no more.
lot of people, what they try to do is they'll talk about stories of other Black people as if they're very interesting.
please. Please, y'all. We've been eating crumbs since we've been here. Don't blame that on Barack Obama, y'all. Come on, y'all. Barack Obama couldn't give us nothing else that Master didn't give him. Come on, y'all. Now, look what he's saying. See, this is full of contradiction. Those two things go hand in hand. If somebody calls you a nigga, they're going to make nigga policies for you. Okay? Now, the implications of what he's saying is this: call me a nigga, but with your policies, call me a white man. That's what he's really saying. That's what the man is really saying. But come on. Y'all, we got to start thinking better than this. We really got to start thinking better than this. You know, he's saying that, you know, he much rather have somebody call him a nigga, but give him, he's basically saying, it's implicit in his statement, but give him white man policies, white privilege. No, if they're calling you a nigga, show me one time in history you a nigga and you had white privilege. Show me one time. So he's creating an impossible conundrum that would never even exist. This is an impossible conundrum that would never exist. Do you hear them calling white people niggas? Now they actually got white privilege. Do you hear them calling them niggas? No, you don't. No, you don't hear them calling them niggas. So this guy right here, you know, it just boils down to you still want your enemies to bless you. Your enemies are not there to bless you. Your enemies are there to kill you.
It's like in the 1600s, the black folk in 16, 17, 18, you can't be here because
Exactly.
That's not possible for you.
Now she's saying all of this. Now listen to her. Talking about P. Diddy. You know, P. Diddy wants to act like he's Ciroc But he can't be Ciroc because Ciroc was around in the 1600s when we were slaves. Watch this. She want a political body. She want a political body. She want a black politic body. Well, you can't have that for the same reasons why you say he can't be Ciroc. You can't have this politic body for black people that white people got because they had a head start way long time ago when we were slaves. So if you transpose that principle of of uh, Puff Daddy and the Ciroc, and you juxtapose that with us looking for a black politic body, which is really a white politic body in disguise, you're basically sitting here being a hypocrite.
Go ahead, and this is important because it says you can do
Oh, see, now she's going deep. Now, why can't she see that so easily when it comes to Beyonce being Bill Gates, being the next Bill Gates? Why can't she see that so clearly? But this is the same sister that talks about equality, equal. You see what I'm saying? It's the same principle. She want to be equal to a group of people who enslaved us to get to where they at. We never can get there. Never. Not in this, not under these conditions, but that's what she wants. That's what Antonio Moore wants. Is it really our politics, Jeremy? Really our politics, or is it a duplication of white politics, but we just call it black? Because if it's a carbon copy, if it's an attempt to carbon copy theirs, it's a failure anyway. This political system is set up for capitalists and oppressors, predators, and we are neither. We didn't have our own banks. I don't believe that. I don't believe we had our own banks. Yeah, you know, my idea of our own bank is totally different from what most people is. Did the money have black faces on it? Okay, then. Okay, that's a good question. What if we would have got our civil rights in 1865 when they actually turned it down? It was presented and turned down. Where would Israelites be today? The same place we are now. That's it. Same place where we are now. I know that because of the Bible. They don't know this. She think we would have been in there. No, we wouldn't have been in there. We would not have been in there. I mean, what, 1865? So 1867 is when the Ku Klux Klan came on the scene? No, it wasn't going to work. The Most High was going to make sure it wasn't going to work. The Most High was going to make sure that nothing that we did worked while we was calling our slave master as white Jesus and as our God. It never was going to work, Yvette. I know you mean well, but this when you have a carnal mind, these the carnal solutions you think of, and then all they do is set us back even more. If we had real wealth, Yvette, we wouldn't even know what to do with it. We still wouldn't have our own military. We still wouldn't be able to protect our families on a national scale as Israelites. We still wouldn't even know that we was Israelites. We still wouldn't know who our Elohim was. And if we did, we would reject him just like we did throughout all Bible history. So, and when you reject the Most High, you don't know what to do with money. You don't know. You don't have a clue. The only thing that we would have did is emulated our oppressors like we do when we get money.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's on purpose. Lafayette, that great. It's on purpose. I'm live streaming her program and giving commentary from a Israelite perspective, because a lot of our people are getting caught up. A lot of Hebrew Israelites are getting caught up in this worldly thinking. And while Yvette Carnell is a brilliant woman, I think her worldview is totally different. And I think it's totally detrimental to Israelites who are so-called labeled so-called black people. And so what I do is I give, you know, it's not a jab at her by me titling this room as such. And it's nothing against her personally, but I like the topics that she deals with. And I like the data that she brings up. And what I do is interpret the data from a biblical perspective, from a Hebraic perspective, and I give my commentary. Basically, that's it. But welcome to the room, Lafayette, the great. But anyway, I'm going to close for tonight. That's enough for me tonight. I hope you all enjoyed the discourse. I hope you all got something from it. I hope you even got something deeper than even what I brought forth. I hope some of the things that I have said have stimulated even deeper and more broader view of us as Israelites. And I hope you have a better view of the promises that the Most High has for us, and not the ones that we contrive ourselves by following all these talking heads who, for all intents and purposes, maybe they mean well, but these policy decisions and political decisions that they're making, they are totally not of the Most High. That they're not even original on top of that. So this is Prophet Rawanawabi signing out night, and keep studying your Bible, get closer to the Most High. And when you listen, you know, one of the things I didn't like when I was growing up, my parents always like, you need to watch the news, you need to watch the news, you need to watch the news. But one thing I remember, my parents never sat down with me like I do my children and explained the news to me. What, you know, they would always say, read the paper, but my parents never explained politics to me. They, even from a worldly Christian standpoint of view, they didn't do it. Now I do it with my children. So my children will know what's going on in the world. So I don't tell my children to watch the news. I actually talk to them about what's happening in the news, what's happening in the world. We have conversations about what's happening in the world, what you think about it, what you would have did in this situation. Does that get the young people involved? You can't tell young people just, you need to read the paper, you need to watch the news, you need to watch the news, but you never talk to them about the news. You never talk to them about current events. You see? But anyway, you all take it easy. This is Prophet Rawanawabi with the One Tough Guy channel. Prophet to the angel of the church, to the Laodiceans who are Israelites. You all have a good night's sleep and shalom.